Anything that you guys want to hammer through?
Yeah. Speaking of refresh, I've been refreshing my website and I was really um, feeling stuck on it, like not knowing exactly what to change. Like I have some new things to add, and I just wanted to, um, I think I just wanted to make it more like representative of who I am. So there was a lot of like, what do I want to do with this? And I actually found it um, refreshing to sort of start from scratch instead of, and like being able to pull over different pieces that I wanted to use that, um, that are still meaningful to me, but just have that space to be like, what do I want? And without boxing myself into anything. And it was really kind of nice to think about it
You
that way.
started fresh, like you started from scratch. That is really, it's a good way to restart, kind of.
Yeah, and a lot of times I look at things, and I mean this to an extent too, because there's definitely like a lot of content and stuff that I'm bringing over, but it was just, normally it's like, oh, what can I do to just sort of like freshen this up instead of redoing it? But I think I'm realizing like there are some things that it's just worth sort of starting at ground level and building new.
Sure, because it kind of reminds me of I rearranged this room actually a couple weeks ago. Sometimes I have to take everything out because otherwise I get too consumed with, well, that needs to be there, or wait, it's always been there, but maybe that's not the place. And then it's probably we can take that right out of the physical place to our lives with relationships and
Mhm.
everything in between. Kind of pull everything out, start over.
Yeah, I'll do that with pages on my website because to redo Fearless Generations would just be a little overwhelming. So like I'll like I have more than one homepage, but you can only see the one I want you to see, right? Like the other two are hidden and stuff. So I've like gone in and I've redone pages and redone things like that and just done them from scratch. And I don't know what you're doing. Give me a second. And stuff. So yeah, I think that sometimes that can be really like it's just better to start from scratch than trying to go, oh, I don't really like this color anymore, or I want this here and I want that there, and I don't want that at all, and I need to add this,
Mm-hmm.
So, but I have totally redone my Let's Hatch website. And because I was talking to Suze and she was like, I think you need to bring back Let's Hatch. And I was like, I've already changed everything to Kelly Lynn Coaching. I don't know if I really want to change everything back.
What is Let's Hatch?
Is what my business used to be called.
Okay.
And then I changed it to Kelly Lynn Coaching. And and we were talking at, I don't know, some mastermind, we were talking about it. And she was like, I like Let's Hatch so much better. That's so much more you. And she's like, when I see Kelly Lynn Coaching, I'm like, who is that? And then like, oh yeah, that's Foxy. And stuff. So I've been thinking of ways that I can like incorporate it, but not like have to change everything again, because I don't want to change everything again right now. It's just not best use of my time. But yeah, so I've played around with it, but I think sometimes it's good to just start from scratch, or to allow things, to change, your ideas or your perceptions, like, oh, Let's Hatch is something that resonates with people, maybe that is something that I want to bring back, or whatever.
What if it was Latach with Kelly Lynn? What if you're just Latach
Yeah.
with, and you join them?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to necessarily have to make new logos and all that kind of stuff again.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did pull over one of my colors from Let's Hatch. But I wasn't completely branded with Let's Hatch. But anyways, I don't want to take up the whole time with this. But yeah, I mean, it's just, being open to things changing, being open to things getting refreshed or looking at them from a different perspective.
And it reminds me too, sort of like every once in a while, I feel like I just have to like completely go through my closet and take out anything that I am not wearing
Yeah,
because I
definitely
get
to be
so
open. That's
overwhelmed
satisfaction.
sometimes. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, it's like that purging, and then like you're not getting rid of everything, you're just taking it all back and then keeping what, like being really intentional about what you're keeping.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it creates space, right? But I think we have to be, when it's being intentional about what we're creating that space for, because anytime we create space, something's going to come in. And if we're not intentional with what's coming in, it could be something that we don't want that comes in. Because when there's a void that's opened up, something's going to come in and fill it. And so that's one thing that I've been really careful about, I don't know, last 6 years, because I opened up a lot of space and then a bunch of bad stuff came in because I wasn't being mindful of it. I was just like, oh, I'm creating space. But, space needs to be there for something specific that you want to put there. Just like you can't necessarily stop doing something bad, you start doing something good. Right? So, yeah.
That's a really good point. I mean, the objective in it, what is the outcome that you're looking for versus, even as I sometimes want to purge, it's the satisfaction that I think I'm getting rid of stuff and moving it and moving it. And then it's like, okay, yeah, there's this whole lot of space. And I think my younger self, I would definitely then be like, oh, well, let me move or buy something else. And I'm like, no, now that I'm older, I like the clean, I like the declutter. Maybe if I would have appreciated that sooner, I wouldn't have had so much like noise sometimes, some excess stuff.
Yeah. Everything happens when it happens for a reason, right?
Yeah, amen. I'm gonna hit pause. Yeah, anything in mind of refreshing any further? Um,
I'm
yeah,
thinking.
I think it was, for me, it was a couple weeks ago when we did our MC. We had our MC meeting, and we were tasked with coming up with our, a little bit more of our definition of our hour. Um, and it was really helpful just hearing everybody's in advance of me trying to form one. But it was really interesting that, for maybe the first month or so of doing these hours, kind of get hung up on what would be your typical like refresh. Like we talked about food, we talked about moods and
Mm-hmm.
energy. But then realizing that so much is beyond that, and just focus, relationships. I mean, so many things are embedded, and the people that we spend time with, uh, and that we don't, the energy that we get from people, what we do with it. And I think the refreshing part for me is to recognize that I can control that, you know?
Mhm.
So I don't know. So I think, yeah, hopping on tonight at 5 with Suze and just being with everybody and knowing that you've got people to lean on is refreshing in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. And just um, I'm finding too with the action hours, it's a nice break from the rest of the just like hustle of my day, and being able to stop for a minute and think about something to celebrate and think about, being intentional with the hour. It's like just enough to um just kind of shake off any stress or overwhelm or whatever is happening in my workday, and just kind of recenter, um, which is very refreshing.
Hmm.
I think before um, OPWP, I wasn't taking breaks during the day. I was just constantly churning, and like would end up exhausted. And now I find myself craving those little in betweens, um, to like step back and say, okay, do I want to keep going on this trajectory, or do I want to, think about maybe changing it up a little? Like what's going to support me?
Yeah, I definitely kind of fall into slumps every, I don't know, maybe a monthly now and then. Work gets too consuming. So today too, I knew I felt the need, and I didn't get the chance. I know I could have forced it, um, but yeah, to lose out on that inspiration, where sometimes it's the hour, or it's fearless or courage, just- and then you're just like, wow, that's what I needed. Because of course it's on purpose, and it
Mhm.
does. It just influences your mind. That is
Yeah.
pretty amazing. Yeah, there's got to be something. I've got to just do a better job. I want to do a better job, kind of integrating at least an intent every day, and maybe then I'll be more successful if I land, four out of the week. And I know we need to, but life, life gets in the way.
I know. Me too. And then, but luckily I have my fur babies to remind me throughout the day that it's time to go play.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I get this little guy. I think more at the end of the day, he's just like, okay, let's cuddle.
Hmm.
But I think we will get him out for a stroll. I can't say the W word, then I won't get to eat. But it's 10 after. And so if I don't get to see you again, have a great evening. It was good to see you today.
Yeah.
All right, take care.